Morning, guys. This is the story that a lot of papers have got about the vacant England hot seat. Steve Bruce has had an interview for the job, and the Star says this morning that Steve Bruce wants to take away the fear factor out of winning games, which England have got.
I believe that, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's very important that they do that. You've got to go out. You've got to have a structure of how you're going to play, but also you've got to go and express yourself, because the top sides, and we have got good players in England, but I just didn't see that in the Euros. The Euros was, I didn't see Dele Alli playing like he did at Spurs, and guys like Sterling on his day can be very, very good. So it looked like they were scared to take a chance sometimes, and that's what they've got to get back into the mentality of the players, to say, look, we've got to have a structure of a team, but when we go and attack, let's go and really attack. Sure. And have a go.
And Bruce has identified this as a problem because the record is dreadful.
Who would you like to see, Dan? Would you like out of them two? It looks like he's a two-horse race, really, now. I know Jurgen Klinsmann would be good as well if you were going for a foreign coach, but it looks like they're going to go for an Englishman.
Well, it definitely looks between him and Allardyce at the moment, and Steve Bruce seems to be hinting that he doesn't really think he's in the mix here, that all the smart money seems to be on Allardyce. But there's an interesting story in the Telegraph that says that the FA have also interviewed a mystery foreign candidate.
Yeah, no names been mentioned.
No hints here at all. The FA seem to be briefing that the names you've heard in the papers are not the extent of everything that's going on, that there are other people behind the scenes going on. All the smart money,
Dan, we did call you a top journalist before you came on. Now, a top journalist would normally be on the case here and find out who this mystery man is.
I'll do some digging, definitely. The other stuff around the England job is the Telegraph says that the FA is still yet to speak to Eddie Howe, to Jurgen Klinsmann. Could that be the mystery foreign name? Who knows? To Glenn Hoddle. Arsene Wenger has already said no, according to the Telegraph. And there's an interesting piece in the Mail also. Martin Keown has written a piece saying that Steve Bruce is the best man for the job. So we could have an appointment by the end of the week.
Well, they've got to move quickly, really, because it's going to affect the clubs, isn't it? Sunderland, or if it's Hull City, they've got to suddenly react and get a manager in before the start of the season. We've got 3 weeks before the first Premier League game, so they need to move quickly, really, the FA.
Yeah, I think the one thing that maybe disappoints me a little bit about this is that the initial briefing was that there were going to be no holds barred, that the FA would look at anyone at all, including foreign coaches, and all of the concentration seems to have been on a small handful of Premier League English coaches, and I would have maybe liked to see one of Europe's top coaches coming in.
Hiddink or someone like that? Or?
Maybe, yeah.
By the way, we're asking on our Twitter page, at Sports Breakfast, okay? Our Twitter page, at Sports Breakfast, who you prefer as England boss, Steve Bruce or Sam Allardyce. Currently, 77% of you say Big Sam at the moment. There you go. What else we got?
We've got a couple of stories this morning about Chelsea. Diego Costa is the man who's making headlines.
Yeah, he's going nowhere.
He's going nowhere, according to Chelsea in the Sun this morning. They are apparently threatening to report Atletico Madrid to FIFA for tapping up. Atletico want their old striker back. Chelsea don't want to lose him. There's been a bit of a war of words going on between the two clubs. How this pans out, I suppose it's down to the player himself, what happens, because with player power, that's how things work these days. Some other interesting Chelsea stuff about the Mirror has got a slightly bizarre story. Adrian Kajumba has been going through the bins somewhere, and he's managed to find a list of the refuelling interests of all of Chelsea's players. Apparently, Cesc Fabregas likes to drink Vanilla Impact because that gets him good post-match.
Okay. Vanilla Impact. Have you tried that?
No, I've never tried that.
Look, Remy likes a chocolate power bar, which sounds like the Pokemon thing we were talking about before. I don't know.
You were out in Austria, weren't you, watching Chelsea?
Yes, I went out there for the first pre-season game against Rapid Vienna on Saturday. Chelsea looked a bit of a mess, but you would expect that on the first game back. There were players not really in the right positions. And
can you watch the training as well? Or?
No, that was closed.
Okay.
But the most interesting thing to watch was, of course, Antonio Conte, who was leaping all over the place.
Do you think Conte will look at a 4 at the back, or will he go with a 3 he knows, like the Italy team?
There's
4.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of speculation. There's a piece in the Mirror this morning that says that he may switch from his preferred 3-5-2 to either a 4-4-2 or even a 4-2-4. And we saw all 3 different formations in Vienna at the weekend. It was interesting that he played Ruben Loftus-Cheek in a sort of second striker role. which didn't really work. There's some stories this morning saying that he
Will
likes
Fabregas play there when fit? Or when back in training? Obviously, he's having a break at the time.
Let me ask you, is Fabregas staying there?
Yes, I would think he is. He seems to have his feet firmly planted under the table at Chelsea, and he seems to like that. That midfield will be interesting with N'Golo Kante coming in. That's a fantastic signing for Chelsea, I think.
Yes.
Exactly the player that they've lacked and that they really need. A lot of work still to be done. Chelsea play their second game in pre-season tonight out in Austria, and then over to the States. But a long way for Conte to take the team.
Are you heading to the States?
Unfortunately not. No,
Why?
The air miles don't go quite that far, Al.
Give us one more before we break.
Yeah, sure. Another interesting one here is about Pep Guardiola and Man City. There's a lot of talk about him this morning. The Sun talks about Pep piecing it together. Aguero, a new deal on the table. Stones possibly coming in. John Stones, perhaps Riyad Mahrez also coming in. There's a bit of talk in there about who is Alexander Zinchenko. Indeed, who is he? Signed for £1.7 million from Russia. They are playing pre-season tonight, Man City, in Pep's old stomping ground, Bayern Munich.
It's interesting what Max said earlier, because if Pogba does go to Manchester United, obviously Bonucci is on their radar, Man City. We know how good a defender is, but he won't be going anywhere. So Pogba could be a big...
Bonucci wouldn't go. If they sell one,
Juventus, they're only going to sell one. So Bonucci, it's either him or Pogba. So Manchester United have got all the cards here. If they can stump up 100 million, maybe Bonucci will stay at Juventus and Man City lose out on a real top-class defender, what they need.
It's interesting jigsaw, isn't it? Because all those pieces have to fit together properly.
But will City buy Stones and Bonucci? Can they afford that?
I think City can afford whatever they want to buy, can't they?
Well... It sounds like Juventus ain't selling. Simple as that. It's either one or the other. So
you wouldn't mind him at Arsenal, would you, Bonucci?
Oh, I'd love him at Arsenal, but I think Chelsea
would
love him as well.
At Arsenal, wouldn't you?
But I think Chelsea, if they was interested, that they would be one of the favourites, because it sounds like he's got a lot of respect for Conte, and I think sometimes you go with the managers who you know well, which obviously he does.
Okay, back with Dan, just a tick coming up, 7:13. Don't forget, Henrik Stenson coming up on the Sports Breakfast. Right, let's talk. When we touched on it there, Paul Pogba, the £100 million man. 100 million, Dan.
100 million. Don't get out of bed for that, do you, Alan? £100 million they're talking about for Paul Pogba. There's some interesting stories across this. The Mirror says 100 million. The Sun says 105. The Eye newspaper says Real Madrid are no longer interested in Pogba, so he could be United's there for the taking. And there's some stuff about the way this is structured as well. The Guardian says that United are going to put in an offer of 87 million plus 13 million add-ons, but Juventus want a neat 100 million. Forget the add-ons.
Max was very confident. Really,
would players be involved in it? Because obviously Manchester United, Mourinho will move a few out as well. Would Juventus maybe be interested in a few of their players?
Well, it looks like that's down for the bargaining, but at the moment we're talking about cold hard cash, 100 million.
And
quid
the Euros not very good at the moment. The rate.
Max Evangelista, he says no deals this size go through.
Yeah,
there's too much
going on there.
And the Manchester
Juventus,
United top man has stayed behind. He hasn't travelled with the team to Chelsea, to Chelsea. Where am I getting this from? To China. Ed, he stayed behind, so you'd think this deal's on.
It looks like it, and there's an interesting piece that the Times have got this morning, and this is a social media pic that's been posted by Jose's wife Matilda, which shows him nicely suited and booted, and in the background there's a whiteboard with his players on it, and there's Paul Pogba in the middle of midfield. So maybe a little bit of a hint has been dropped there by Mrs. Mourinho.
Who are they playing in China? Are they? Do you know, Manchester United?
They've got a series. It's a promotional tour, so they're playing a series of clubs, I think, Chinese and
Would you like to do that, Ray, as a player, start the season?
Well, you don't get a choice, Al. You just it's not ideal, really, when you're going all around the world. I mean, I remember Chelsea done that. But did they go to Australia once and America?
And the air, the type of air over there, the pollution, the smog?
I think times have changed because financially the clubs get so much money by going on tour, and they attract so many fans as well, Al. I mean, if you go over to them sort of parts of the world, you know, there's so many football fans out there, Premier League football fans, that everybody's trying to get as many as they can, obviously sell shirts and, you know, so that's what they do it. And it's nice for them guys.
It can't be good for the players.
It's not. We never went years ago.
No.
We never went. I mean, we
Austria
did go South
makes
Africa.
sense to me. You're up in the mountains, clear air, fresh air, good.
Very good line.
Pella and Hulk have both gone to China as well to play now, haven't they?
Yeah, and this is, I think at some stage we're going to have to start taking China seriously because they've got lots and lots of big names over there. People obviously are attracted in the first instance by the money, but the standard is coming up.
Yeah.
And players are not playing rubbish football over there. It is becoming a big thing. The TV deal's getting bigger. The crowds are getting much bigger. And one day, China will be a force in football. I'm fairly certain of that.
Yeah, right. So Pogba, can you believe it? If you're a lifelong United fan, you sold this kid, I let him go for all the years ago, and then he come back and spend 100 million. What if it doesn't work? Oh.
Well, that's a big question. I mean, I'm sure he'd be in the heart of the midfield and be driving forward.
I think it will work, by the way.
It will,
yeah.
Look, they've got some good players. They've really recruited well, I think. Ibrahimovic is a great signing. Mkhitaryan is going to be a real star in the Premier League as well. So, look, Jose knew when he get the job, he said, look, we need big players to come into this club. It's a huge club, and at the moment they're doing the deals. They are. I think every Manchester United fan will be buzzing about the new season because they'll be really looking forward to. I like what Ibrahimovic said the other day. He's not going to be the king, but I'm going to be the god. So he's always been a confident player, but that's what you want to hear. That's what you want to hear if you're a Manchester United fan. Dan, you got one more for us?
Yeah, one more. This story doing the rounds about all over the papers, all over the media about Russian doping and the state of things over there. The Times have got that the Olympics chiefs are consult lawyers over a full ban for Russia, possibly by the weekend. On a slightly different Russian doping story, the Eye runs with a story about Lilia Shubakova, who won the London Marathon in 2010.
Got to pay her money back.
2011, got to pay her money back because I'm afraid it's dirty money. There's also a piece in the Mail. Daily Thompson today has said, don't stop at banning Russia from the Olympics. Ban them from all international sports until they're straight. And it's hard to disagree with that.
Well,
really.
look, we got the World Cup in 2 years. I mean, it's amazing to see, and all them athletes have trained all their life to maybe get to the top, and you've got people cheating. So it's wrong. I mean, it's terrible for the sport, and obviously everybody had an inkling that was going to happen, didn't they?
Yeah. The thing that's difficult, of course, it's terrible for the sport, but it's also terrible for some of the sportsmen because there are, I'm sure, plenty of clean Russian athletes who will be mired down in this and will miss their chance on the world stage because of it.
Well, is there plenty clean athletes? Because did they have the choice to be clean? I'm not sure. Well, I think over there, if you're told you're doing this, you're doing it.
Well, I suppose in any group there are people who've been pushed through unnaturally who don't deserve to be there, but there will also be people who are talented, who've got that natural ability, who've done it of their own volition and their own talent. I would hope so as well. But The Guardian quotes a Russian presidential spokesman as saying that Russia is preparing for the Olympics as normal. They're expecting to be there.
Sports minister, I think they'd be looking for a new sports minister. That had anything to do with it because I think he's a clown. He's a guy who's well behind this. He's also the head of football in Russia as well. Remember what he said about the Russian fans over on the Euros? No, it's ridiculous, nonsense. I'm with Daly Thompson. Dan, thank you for that.